us pray together as we begin this wonderful ceremony together. Holy and wondrous God, we gather on this grand day, understanding that we come from different places, hold different values, and cherish different beliefs. Yet today, we are united in gratitude. In a world where many cannot study, we are thankful for the achievements, degrees, and honors that we celebrate today. In a world where many have no future, we are thankful for the dreams, hopes, and plans that have been nourished in the University of Charleston community. In a world where many have no community, we are thankful for the support of mentors, professors, teachers, family, and friends. As we go on from this grand day to different paths, to different experiences and different destinies, may our gratitude unite us in the desire of using all that we are and all that we have for the common good, so that reasons to be thankful will fill every life. May our gratitude on this grand day grow into peace for each and freedom to live, work, and serve throughout all of our days. Amen. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. Oh my goodness, it must be a bad day. Good afternoon. There you go, thanks a lot. Welcome to the University of Charleston and our December 2017 commencement. And welcome to the home of the national champion men's soccer team. How sweet it is, just 8 days ago in Kansas City, and how sweet it has been since then with a week of celebration and the way in which the city and region has adopted us and celebrated the success. And welcome also to the home of 13 finalists in the statewide business plan competition. That's 13 out of a total of 18 from all the colleges and universities in West Virginia. We'll take that. We do pursue excellence here. It is what it's all about. And we're celebrating that today as we celebrate the success of those of you who are graduating. Once again, we have the largest December graduation in the history of the university. And our focus is on you. It's your graduation. It's your day to be proud of what you've accomplished, or to be surprised or relieved that you've gotten here. It's your graduation to the newfound status of being a University of Charleston alumnus or alumna. The ceremony grows in size. We still try to have a little touch of informality, and so if you want to stand at the appropriate moment and your family member or friend and want to take a photo as your special person walks across the stage, we encourage you to do that. Or if you want to slip down here and get a good shot, we encourage you to do that as well. And as part of all that informality, I want to give you a quiz. I know test time for some of you. Those of you who are graduating, if you are an undergraduate graduate, raise your hands. How many undergraduates, okay? If you are a graduate student, raise your hand. Okay. If you have not yet raised your hand, leave. I think that'll probably, sorry. We're tough. If you previously attended another college or university, raise your hand. Neat. If you're graduating earlier than normal, so you're getting a bachelor's degree in less than 4 years or a master's degree in less than 6 or so, if you're graduating in a faster track, raise your hand. How many of you are from West Virginia? Okay. How many of you are from another country? Good deal. How many of you played a sport at UC? All right. Just a couple more. How many of you are employed or already have a job that you'll take after graduation? How many of you still have an assignment to turn in? All right. Well, we better be quick about this so you can do that. But today is your day. We're considering you graduates. Don't mess up that assignment. Our commencement address today is being brought to you by the Honorable Shelley Moore Capito. She is our United States Senator and has been since 2014. You can read more about her in the bio that's in your program. She's the first female U.S. Senator in West Virginia's history and was elected with the largest margin of victory for any Republican in state history. She is a prolific legislator and has significant committee assignments. And we know her well because she was also our congressional representative before she became a senator. I got to say, at University of Charleston, she's not just a senator. She's also perhaps Mrs. Charles Capito. Mrs. Charles Capito is on our Board of Trustees. She is also Dr. Capito because in 2004 we recognized her with an honorary degree for her service. She did not, however, have to speak on that graduation occasion, but today she does. I specifically invited her to be the speaker for my last December commencement, so I'm particularly pleased that she accepted, and it's a personal pleasure to introduce to you the Honorable Shelley Moore Capito.
Thank you, Dr. Welch and Ed. As I know Ed and Janet as good friends of Charlie and ours, and thank you for the incredible honor for me to be able to address the students and friends, and also to be at your final December graduation ceremony. I think that that speaks a lot of our friendship, and I really sincerely appreciate it. I'd like to also say hello to the chair of the board, Henry Harmon, who's here today. Ed already mentioned my husband Charlie is on the Board of Trustees and has been on there for 3 terms and is very honored. But I'd just like to say just a few things. I know he won't want me to say a lot about Dr. Welch, because his vision has really transformed the University of Charleston. For those of you in the audience who have seen and watched the University of Charleston over the years, you know this to be true. I actually remember when you came to the University of Charleston. That's how long I've lived in the Kanawha Valley. And when I think about Ed Welch, what do I think about? I think about a long and lean person, that's for sure. I think about an energetic, kind, smart, intellectually driven man who has a very great background in public service. If you've never heard about it, it's most interesting. But what I like to think about Ed Welch is that he's a lifelong learner, and he's convinced everybody that I know and everybody that he knows that we should all be lifelong learners. You don't stop learning when you leave today, and we shouldn't stop learning, and I shouldn't stop learning as a public servant just because I've already accepted my degrees and moved on and in different phases of my life. I need to learn every day. And so for that life lesson, thank you, Dr. Welch. So let's give Ed a big round of applause. As we know, he and Janet's contributions, and they will continue after this, go beyond the boundaries of the University of Charleston into the Charleston community as well. So I want to begin by just saying hello to everybody, to the extended University of Charleston family, administration and faculty, to the proud family members and friends, and most of all to the graduates yourself. I'm glad Ed did a little ABC for me. See, life learner that he is and teacher. I got to learn a little bit about all of you that I didn't already know. So it's been an incredible year, obviously, with the soccer championship over the last 8 days. We were discussing earlier before we came out, is this the first national championship in the Valley? We think so. Maybe even in the state of West Virginia. And there's one thing we know about West Virginians. Once we accomplish something, you know, we never forget. And we're never going to forget that the University of Charleston won the Division II National Championship. And we're going to talk about it to future generations because it's something where it's not just the University of Charleston that's proud of this, it's the whole entire community in the state. And that's, I think, what the beauty is of the state. I'm also proud of the innovators at the statewide collegiate business plan competition. These are things that show that the University of Charleston has educated and challenged the students to do their best in business competition, which then will lead to further job and occupation and executive positions all around the country, and particularly in the state of West Virginia. So by creating a place with the Russell and Martha Worley Innovation Center, it's a huge success, and I think a result of a lot of hard work. By creating a place where our students can invent and create and imagine, we can see our community and our state grow. When we think about where are the jobs of tomorrow, I'm not sure we really know where the jobs of tomorrow are. But we know they're not the jobs of yesterday. And I think as a state like West Virginia, as we're transitioning from more heavy-based, manufacturing-based, coal-based, energy-based, we need to transition, and that's what the Innovation Center is going to help us do here in West Virginia, transition to the next generation. Maybe it's autonomous vehicles, maybe it's using our natural gas resources to power our transportation sector, maybe it's finding a way to actually capture the carbon and use the coal for the next 150 years. All these things are occurring in innovation centers across the country, and here in West Virginia, that is the energy that we need. That is the innovation that we need. We're also seeing it in the health sciences centers here in the University of Charleston. Certainly, I know our family has accessed the health facilities here in the Valley, and you can't go to a physician or the hospital or a clinic without running into a University of Charleston graduate in one form or another. So thank you, University of Charleston, for helping us to meet our health challenges and provide a strong and healthy state. So, you know, I think I feel very lucky to call Charleston my home. I feel very lucky to be able to have visited the campus of the University of Charleston in all kinds of different arenas. I saw a run, a 5K just going out here. We've done that a couple times. Our kids learned to swim in the University of Charleston swimming pool. We've been to the Starbucks on the campus. We've just really, University of Charleston is part of our growing up, part of who we are. And so it makes me proud to be here today because I can remember when my children graduated or when I actually graduated. Yes, I can actually remember that. It was quite a while ago. But I do know that this is a proud day for every parent, for every friend, for every family member. And so after almost 17 years in Congress, I've learned a lot of lessons. And I'm sure there's some of you out there right now thinking, and you could learn a few more, Shelley, so get with it. Before I get into what my original theme was going to be, I want to talk about a topic that is today, I think, something that maybe you'd like to hear how I feel about it. I am deeply troubled by the lack of civility that we have in this political arena where I serve. It's not so much that people have deep opinions, or people disagree, or people are concerned about the country. Those are all great things. That's what this country was founded on, disagreement and working out your differences and having the freedom to speak. But the tone and the lack of respect that we see in the political arena deeply troubles me. I try not to engage like that. I try to engage in respectful debate, where if I disagree, if I don't have the same opinion of somebody, I try to sit down and talk to the person, I try to sit down and talk to the group, and at the end of the day, if we don't agree, we just get up and say, you know what? We've just got to agree to disagree. So when I got to Congress, I decided I would create the Civility Caucus. So we're all going to have civil debate. We had civil debates on the floor of the House. The problem is there's 435 members of the House of Representatives. I only got 17 people to join the Civility Caucus. The Wine Caucus has 150 people. So we've got a ways to go in Congress. And when I came home on Thursday night, 3 members of Congress had resigned because of their personal behavior. To me, that is unacceptable. Not that they didn't resign, but their conduct of unacceptable behavior. So I would say all of the things that are coming to light, and I don't think we've seen the end of this, that this behavior has got to stop. We have got to have safe workplaces for you, male and female, to know that you are safe in your workplace, that you're protected, that if you're having an issue, that you have a process that you can go to and go through to get the answers that you need. And so, as a member of the Senate, I'm actually on the committee where we're reworking our own processes to make sure that the workplace we're in, which obviously is not measuring up, begins to measure up better for future generations. So the first thing I thought about when I wanted to talk about you all was something that came to me when I was, a person had written me a letter and asked me if, since I was the first woman senator, would I write a note to their daughter on her upcoming birth. I thought it was kind of a nice thing for her little mother's notebook that she was, her mom and dad's notebook they were putting together for the child of her birth. And I thought, well, that would be a nice tribute. When she gets older, she can see that she had a note from her U.S. Senator. And I couldn't decide exactly what to say. But the thing I decided, the theme I went with was one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, and that's a life lesson that I think we all need to learn, and that is to look up. So when I thought about a baby being born, and my husband and I have 4 grandchildren and 2 on the way, when you think about a baby being born, what are all the things that a child is looking up? They're looking up into the face of their mom and dad. They're looking up to their brother and sister. And when they get older, they're looking up to the heavens and realizing how grateful and all the things we have to be grateful for. And if you're West Virginian, you're looking up at the mountains and you're thinking, this is a strong and beautiful state. But the one thing we're failing at, I think, is that we are so consumed by our social media and attached to our phones that we're looking down too much. And I'm guilty of it. We often walk, how many in the crowd here has walked around looking at their phone and either run into somebody or something? Yes, I've done that. We often, figuratively, we are often so consumed by the immediacy of a major project we're working on that we're not really looking at the bigger picture. Everything's breaking news. Have you ever noticed that? This really bugs my husband, by the way. He's in the crowd and goes, everything is breaking news. Even if it broke 2 days ago, it's still breaking news. And we don't look at the bigger picture. So I think we all need to look up more. As a mother and as a grandmother, I can tell you, if you look at a restaurant and go to the restaurant and you see a table with children, smaller children at the table, what are they doing? They're looking at their phones. I understand they're occupying their children, and I get that. But dinner tables are a good time to have a good conversation about where you're going. So when you're home, put your phone away. Take in your surroundings, listen, think. Take the time to have the conversation. Look into somebody's eyes. You can think about when you read a text message, how often you've maybe misconstrued what that person meant. Even in a short one, you could say to yourself, are they mad at me? Are they trying to tell me something? Is that just a little comment? I've done that myself, wondering, trying to read into those several words on a text message, whereas if I just talked with the person, looked in their eyes, seen their body language, I'd know exactly what they meant and how they meant it. So nothing can replace that connectivity that we have. And I would encourage that social interaction is so important when you go to work. Instead of always emailing back and forth, and the ease and convenience of it's great, sometimes just get up and go to the other person's office and talk to them. Find out what they think, how they feel, and which direction they wish for you to go. And for your family members, make sure that you keep that connection as well. I think that's extremely important. Second, I would cherish your relationships. You all have built relationships between students. These are lifelong relationships that you've built. Now, in the United States Senate, people often have asked me, what's the difference between being in the House of Representatives and being in the United States Senate? Well, in the House of Representatives, there's 435 people. In the United States Senate, there's only 100. So much of what we do in the United States Senate, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you're from California or West Virginia, is built on the relationship that you cultivate with your fellow senators. We have conversation. I know the news media doesn't think we ever have conversations that aren't uncivil, and that's not the case. We work hand in hand. Elizabeth Warren from Massachusetts, who literally, she and I disagree on just about everything, have worked together on a particular piece of legislation because we are like-minded and we cross that bridge. That can be done in all kinds of areas. So building a relationship is extremely important in your work life, in your personal life. And the nice thing about it, being from West Virginia and being in West Virginia, we have relationships everywhere. We run, I was telling Dr. Welch that at the airport, my husband and I met a couple 2 weeks ago who told me that their daughter went to the University of Charleston and she's now in law school at Cornell University. And I said, well, please have her come and visit me. And just last week, she came to visit me. And I made a new friend and she made a new friend. So building relationships are really important. Being interested in each other's families, knowing each other's names, because you're always running into somebody that you know. West Virginia I always refer to as a big, small town. And you're going to find that. University of Charleston's a smaller school, but you're surrounded by so many other connections and networks that those relationships that you build, remembering your sense of home is going to be extremely important to you. The third thing I would say is show gratitude. And our opening prayer asks us to do that. I was pleased to hear gratitude mentioned. Sometimes I think we forget to say thank you. Sometimes I think we forget to actually look and see what to be grateful for. To be grateful for your professors, to be grateful for the ability to go to school, to be grateful for the intelligence to be able to learn, to be grateful for today, to be grateful for the snow we had last night, to be grateful for the country that we live in, for the country that we live in that provides the freedom and the liberty for us to be able to do so many things, so many people around the world, to be grateful for those men and women who are serving in our armed forces. I know we have many here at the University of Charleston who are in actives or in the reserves or guard. We have many veterans in the state of West Virginia. Be grateful for that service. Be grateful for those who are willing to put themselves in service to our country. So my children always tell me to don't say last, Mom, because you always add something else. So I shouldn't say last. The next thing I'd say is to embrace the ups and downs of where you are. You know, I went to a graduation speech for one of my children, and this was the thing that stuck. The speaker said, life is about zigging and zagging. It's not a straight line. So I would imagine some of you graduates today maybe started out in a different area. Maybe you had another job in a different area, and you come back to school to get an education in a different area. Many of you in the audience probably went, it's very few that some just go straight ahead. You zig and you zag. And I would put myself in that category because I was originally going to be a doctor. And I went to the state at UC, I was a zoology major. And many people ask me, what does a zoology major, what does that have to do with being in politics? And I said, it has prepared me to serve in the biggest zoo in America, that's Washington, D.C. Thank you for laughing at that. Anyway, I spent the summer at CAMC Memorial with Dr. Mary Lou Lewis, who was a real pioneer for women physicians here in the Valley. And I realized I just didn't have what it took to be a doctor. I just really decided at that point, which I was only one more year from graduating, that I really needed to make a change. And so my zig and my zag took me from being in higher ed, to being a stay-at-home mom, to being in the House of Delegates, to being in Congress, to being in the United States Senate. That's a zig and a zag. I was raised in a family of public service, but I never really had imagined it for myself. So there are many paths before you, all of which, some you can see, but some you just can't quite imagine and can't see. So keep your minds open. What you've learned here, I'm sure, is to explore, to question, to understand, to look ahead. And that's the lifelong learning that you need to continue to pursue and to make sure that if you don't like what direction you're going, to have the courage to stand up and make the change. That's hard. Change is hard in and of itself, but when you put yourself on a pathway, it's even more difficult, I think, sometimes to make the change. So recall that sense of optimism and accomplishment that you have today. These are challenging times in our country. Engage in civil debate, please, and these will be wonderful. You'll have wonderful times to shape your future. As you embark on your next chapter, you'll have the opportunity to participate in many great events. Exciting, stressful, but long-lasting. And remember sometimes that the smaller victories are the ones you're going to remember. I tell myself that every day. Sometimes I can't do as big a thing as I want, or I can't solve the big problems, and it seems like the big issues of the day always just kind of get moved around. But while all those big issues are moving around, there's a lot of small victories. Actually, just got one last week on student loan debt you should be happy about to help you with student loan debt. So that's a small victory. That's a small victory, but it's significant. So think about it in terms of the small victories. And I would just say to try to be as happy as you can in your pursuit. I've learned in my life that it's a lot easier to be happy than to be mad, upset, and revengeful, and carry bitterness. So as you can try to be happy and have a positive outlook, it really invigorates and energizes, and it doesn't sap your strength. Not from you, not from your family, not from your job, not from your future. So your time at UC has been formative in preparing you to navigate all of these things to come. So congratulations, Golden Eagles. Best of luck. And remember to look up. But today, you know what? We're looking up to you. So make us proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Thanks for the positive words about UC, and thanks also for your advice. We're very mindful about the gift limits in giving thank yous. We do have a few mementos we'll give you so you can remember the university that's in your hometown. You already have a doctoral hood, so the best I can do today to hood you is to do it And now I introduce Dr. Joseph Yanish and the University Singers for their musical contribution to the celebration.
Good afternoon. How many of, since we started with these quizzes, and you don't have to raise your hand if you don't want, how many of you were alive in the 60s? Yeah. The 60s were a time, Jerry, there you go. The 60s were a time of great turmoil in our country. Some would even say it was worse then than it is now, except all of the people, as Senator Capito has mentioned, all of the people from the 60s, like me, grew up and now we're in positions of power. But there was a gentleman, John Lennon, who had this vision for America. And we would like to sing it for you now. Actually, it was a vision for the world.
Dr. Yanish and the University Singers. Weren't they wonderful? And now we can move to the main event, the conferral of degrees. Will the candidates for the bachelor degrees please stand? President Welch, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science degrees. These students have completed or are scheduled to complete the requirements for their respective degrees as approved by the faculty. Therefore, I request that you confer upon them the appropriate degree.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Charleston and by the State of West Virginia, and upon the unanimous recommendation of the faculty, I happily confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree appropriate to your field of study, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations and good luck.
Students, will you please take your tassel and move it to the other side of the mortarboard, and please be seated. Will the candidates for the master and doctoral degrees please stand? President Welch, I have the privilege of presenting to you the candidates for the Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Cybersecurity, Master of Science in Strategic Leadership, and Doctor of Executive Leadership. These students have completed or are scheduled to complete the requirements for their degree as approved by the faculty. Therefore, I request that you confer upon them the appropriate degree.
With the authority given to me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Charleston and by the State of West Virginia, and, believe it or not, with the unanimous recommendation of the faculty, I happily confer upon you the Master's or Doctoral degree appropriate to your field of study, with all of the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations to each of you.
Please take your tassel, move it to the other side of the mortarboard, and please be seated. At this time, our University Grand Marshal, Dr. Sandra Bowles, and Assistant Marshal, Dr. Martha Spiker, will lead the graduates to the stage. Students, you will receive your diploma from Dr. Welch, and also congratulations from Dr. Henry Harmon, Chairman of the Board of Trustees. Those who are graduating with honors will be recognized as their names are read this afternoon. Latin honors are designated for students completing a bachelor's degree. Summa cum laude and highest honors indicate a GPA of 3.9 to a perfect score of 4.0. Magna cum laude and high honors indicate the second highest level of GPA at 3.75 to 3.89. And cum laude and honors indicate the third highest level of GPA at 3.5 to 3.74. For those receiving graduate degrees in the School of Business and Leadership, the honor designation is for those students who have earned a GPA of 3.74 to 4.0. Honors status is determined on the basis of the final grades a student received in the previous semester. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree from the Morris Harvey School of Arts and Sciences. Cedric Armani. Natalia Carbajal. Lauren Alexis Easterling. Monica Louise Griffith. Terry Austin Harper. Tara Dawn Harvey. Joshua K. Higginbotham, cum laude. Ivy Michael Lucili, magna cum laude. Jared Anthony Page. Caleb Andrew Turner, summa cum laude. Caressa Dawn Williams, cum laude. Our next group of students are receiving a Bachelor of Science degree from the Morris Harvey School of Arts and Sciences. Logan Michael Cox, summa cum laude. Megan Lynn Leonard. Abigail Renee Martin, summa cum laude. Cyril S. Newerso. Amanda Michelle Whitman. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Science degree from the Herbert Jones Undergraduate Division of the School of Business and Leadership. Anthony A. Amato. Nathan Lee Rickover. Jason Chung. Tessa Nicole Dent, magna cum laude. Bria Lynn Forney. Patrick Geyer, cum laude. Evan Nathaniel Ham. Brett Allen Douglas Harvey. Jeffrey M. Jacobson. Tammy Lynn Kirk. Veronica Penafin Livian. Jalen Turner Nelson. Ken Nolan. Dwayne Cuckoo O'Pear. William Hugh Roberts. Dustin Ray Rushing. Luke John Sears, summa cum laude. Adrian Elaine Sewell, cum laude. Adelaide Erickson Siegel, magna cum laude. James N. Volpe, Jr. Sarah Nicole Wellman. Bethany A. Williams. John Brian Schuyler Wotring II. Our next group of students are receiving a Bachelor of Science degree from the Burt Bradford School of Health Sciences. Cynthia Marie Kasich. Michael A. Makowski. Shelley L. Smith. At this time, I'd like to call to the stage Dr. Scott Bellamy, Dean of the School of Business and Leadership, and Dr. Rick Ferris, Director of the Masters of Business Administration program, to begin the hooding of students who will receive an MBA. Adi Lee Carnell. Kevin Thomas Clemens. John Jr. Dolce. Zachary Daniel Erb. Zerlay Farley, honors. Faith Yvonne Funderburg. Adam Carl Morgan Gwynn, honors. Penny Alicia Hall, honors. Madison Brooke Fields. Sadie Margaret Calfunkel. Thomas Joseph Matrasha. Nicholas C. Pasadelis. Anthony Wayne Simpkins, honors. Thomas McBride Stallings. William Blaine Stewart, honors. Thank you, Dr. Ferris. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Ruth Wiley, Director of the Doctor of Executive Leadership Program, to the stage to assist Dr. Bellamy in putting other students receiving a graduate degree, beginning with the Master of Science in Cybersecurity. Lawrence J. Duva II, honors. Jonathan Lyle Sunyan, honors. David Taveras, honors. Our next group of students are receiving a Master of Science in Strategic Leadership. Chad Allen Cavender, honors. Jolan Joshua Quincy Clark, honors. Keith Allen Ekholm, honors. Robert Allen Haggerty Jr., honors. Philip Jamie Hunt, honors. Sierra Janie Jones. Ryan Max, honors. George W. Newell III, honors. Daniel Jansen Riley, honors. Nicole Steffen, honors. Murray Tyler Streetman. And finally, the following students are receiving a Doctor of Executive Leadership. Dr. Jeffrey Wayne Harvey, honors. Dr. Sarah H. Shelton. Thank you, Dean Bellamy and Dr. Wiley. Will all of the graduates please stand? We've been talking this afternoon about gratitude, so now I'd like to ask Family and friends of the graduates to please rise. And finally, will the faculty and staff of the University of Charleston please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and join us now in the singing of the alma mater. University singers. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as Reverend Janet Hartman of St. Mark's United Methodist Church here in Charleston leads us in the benediction. This will conclude our ceremony, but I will ask you to please remain at your seats as the President's party and our wonderful graduates leave the auditorium. And I will invite you to join us for refreshments in the rotunda to celebrate this very momentous occasion. Reverend Hartman?
This is my last December graduation as well, as I retire in June. So let us be in an attitude of prayer before we leave this wonderful space. Go now, knowing that you are loved. You have been reminded to look up. Be reminded that you are special. And my friends, be a witness to this world. Go now in peace. Amen.